record on this computer. Let's do it. Cool. So, again, mission. It's not just about the mission statement. It's about allowing. Zoom wants security clearance. Fine. Sorry, guys. Cool. All right. So anyways, I can't tell you how to write a mission. I can't tell you how to write a story about yourself. But what we will do is, how did I even get to this? How did I start thinking about this? Like, I'll be honest with you, I stayed up all night to write this. Just one simple paragraph, because I'm a loser like that. But the point is that it's that investment of time that captivates someone's attention, that makes them want to talk to you. Because we're junior devs. This is when I was here, I was a junior dev. I had zero experience. Like, look at my experience. What have I done? This is my final project. This is my final project. I was a full stack developer at What's Poppin'. Is it a company? Fuck no. But it's my experience. It's just as good as working at somewhere. My final project, I did project management. Okay. I put a fuck ton of hours into it. I did all sorts of design. I did implementation. I did, everything from Git flow to, manage my time, everything required for me to do my job at any other company. I had to do my final project, right? I'm not going to list all my projects, but this is literally it. That was my job. Your project is your job. If you don't think of it that way, then you gotta start getting in that mode. That includes any other future learning projects that you're going to take. Okay? So I'm going to just put, in a small team, I developed social media analytics application which can display or fetch social media trends or custom searches, geographically based, blah, 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 blah. Here is where I start putting my great old keywords. I learned after the fact, you should bold these. I'm just showing you where I made mistakes too. Okay? So start bolding anything that you think a scraper will pick up to get you out the door, get you in front. This is what you got to do. Bold them. When they read your statement, next thing they're gonna see React.js. They're gonna see Ruby on Rails, Postgres, API integration, Twitter, Facebook, Koala, OAuth, Devise, Mapbox, so on and so on and so on. I could have kept going, but that's not the point. I try to keep it nice, short, but not overbearing. Okay? Something that kind of gets their attention. Okay? And this is another key point here. It's a one-page resume. Okay? So you have to be very frugal about it. So you need something that pretty much grabs their attention and makes them want to learn more about you. Okay? This is one of the biggest things that the more I talk to people, the more I talk to recruiters, the more I talk to companies that were hiring, they were like, well, your resume is great and all, but I want to know more about you. And it was like, you need to give them those little hooks. Cool. So what did I do before? I was in risk management, Bayshore Healthcare. Honestly, this right here, I took years of, like, literally, it was like half a page of work that I did at Bayshore. And I literally cherry picked very, very specific projects or items that I worked on. This is for people who have previous jobs, or if you volunteered. I don't give a shit if you help someone's grandmother turn on their computer. The whole point is write down, get a piece of paper out, write down everything that you fucking did there. Like, I did this, including initiatives. Not just like, this is what my role is. It is important to show people that these were my initiatives. This is what I did. This is what I created. This is outside of, so like when I was working as risk management, I was doing a lot of I was just sick and tired of people doing like really a shitty job and slow. So I was creating Excel tools a lot of the time. And that's literally what I put. This was not even my role, but this is something I did there. Okay. So what I put? I put like creative tools to maximize report generation efficiency driven by large pools of data. All I did was cherry pick it, make it sound like something related to IT. I didn't lie about it, but we're just trying to make it, we're like massaging it to make it fit the situation. Okay? Whatever, talk about data-driven processes, make them more robust, blah, blah, blah. Analytics of complex high-risk accounts, hosted regular breakout sessions, blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to emphasize here too, in this little blurb, is that, hey, this is not programming, right? But I really love to create things that help people, right? I love to show people how they work. This is part of like the drive that I have. By the way, I also have analytical skills. I working with large data and in a structured process environment. Very simple. Somebody reads that, that's what my intended takeaway is. Whether they get that or not, I don't know. But that's, you got to think of like, what's the key message? The key message should be short, concise, and should hit major points. And then you build around it. Okay. Oh, Bayshore. This was a really fun company. Too bad these dicks didn't hire me as a developer. But they were like, you need to have more experience. Well, what the hell? I went to school. I worked for you guys for 5 years. Get out of here. But, you know, such is life. So I worked on a couple, when I was a supply chain auditor. Okay. And I worked on a couple of really, really cool projects. Is it what I did there for 5 years? Fuck no. But these were actually my initiatives. And these were also, I did a lot of stuff. So think about stuff that you did. And even if, like, I'll tell you what I did there. We had this like, we had to like fax paper to like GM and Ford and all these other places. And then they would like send us back an email PDF. And then I'd have to like convert that to Excel. Like it was just, it was like retarded. So one of my initiatives was to get to create like a self-serving portal for vendors to go there and like fill all the shit out, and then we get a form, and then voila. Did I code it? Fuck no. But when the project was coded, I went on there, I tested all the fields, I like, oh, this looked weird or blah blah blah. I found some bugs, I reported it. So I was doing like QA work. So look, key contributor to the UI and the user experience, feature testing, and bug reporting for manufacturer order direct system. Doesn't that sound like something that you would do as a dev? Kind of, right? Is it accounting or supply chain related? Not really, but it's not a fucking lie. It's actually a project that I worked on. Hosted lunch and learns. Look at that. Reoccurring theme. I like to teach people stuff. Right? I hosted lunch and learns with key stakeholders after deployment. Keywords, stick to technical terms. Successfully migrated large volume of vendors to an EDI payment system. So this is a second project. I picked 2 projects that I worked on. It's just a fancy way of saying like, yo, we really didn't want to get checks and scan checks and pay the bank fees for depositing checks. So we created another portal where vendors can go and just submit some information, and then we would auto debit their account. Nothing too crazy, but still technical enough. Large volumes of data. Look at this. Data driven, right? Keep a consistent theme that says, hey, everywhere I go, I take my knowledge with me and I build on it. Think of Lego. Just build your knowledge. Everywhere I go, I keep making things better. I make myself better. Therefore, I make your company better. And I don't just take my knowledge from other places and throw it in the trash. I'm building myself up. Can you believe that? 2005 to 2012. Holy shit. Holy shit. Been around the block, boys. Been around the block. Actually, this is a funny story because these guys paid for my 3-year accounting diploma.
Ooh.
So I went to Wells Fargo. They got me under loss mitigation, which is a really fancy way of saying I used to work with like, I used to audit mortgages for like frauds and other shit like that. And then they were like, hey, you're really good at whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Pay for my school. I'll stick around. So they did. And in turn, I stayed for 8 years. until they laid me off because they left Canada. And I'm really happy they did, because then I went to ARI. And then ARI, I hit plateau on salary. Then these guys wanted to pay me a lot, and these guys were complete retards, which led me to become a web developer. That's my story.
Cool.
Anyways, and you can see here, this is even further removed, because at this point I didn't know anything about, I wasn't really playing around with computers, but at the end, analysis, analytical, okay? Keep a constant theme. What I'm doing here is I'm focusing on my transferable skills. I want you to be very keen on this. Focus on your transferable skills. Why? Because your transferable skills is what you're going to be leveraging. Like, hey, I'm a web developer for 6 months part-time at a school program. Cool, I'm awesome. But my experience is limited. I have no work experience in the web development world. People are going to be like, so what? Why should I take you over a computer science degree graduate? Right? That's a natural question. So you need to think about this question, because people will ask you this. How to answer it is really up to you. But the truth is that your answer should include, hey, I have a ton of experience working, small, medium, large companies, I have a ton of transferable skills, which you cannot get from just a fresh grad. And my mind is open and fresh because I just finished a web development course and I'm a fucking awesome developer. That was my pitch. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I told people this and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome. Don't you know? They were like, yeah, dude, what? And then they were like, let's have a coffee. Let's talk about it. But that's me. That's my persona, right? So find your groove. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is part of my groove. This is who I am. This is what you see, right? So, where have I studied? Did I really want to list out like all the shit for accounting? Fuck no. I wanted them to know that I've been around the block. I'm bringing these skills to your corporation. But do you see how I emphasize this right here? Where did I study? At BitMaker. This is what I did. Behavioral driven development, which is a fancy way of saying test first. Define the behavior, then start building testing around it, and then create your application. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Agile development. You guys all know about that. I'm a fucking pro. Not really. But you got to believe it to be it. Front end stack. Back end stack. Let people know. I'm a full stack developer. Everybody and their grandmother is a full stack developer now, guys. Like I've talked to people, they're like, yeah, I'm full stack, bro. And I was like, okay, what's your stack? They're like, like the HTMLs and the CSSs and the WordPresses, I was like, oh, really? Oh, amazing. Amazing. You're on your way to stardom. He probably makes more money than me, probably. I don't know. Anyways, all jokes aside, telling people full stack is like people throw this around like it's nothing. And you really need to define it. Like, what is your full stack? Are you full stack Java? I don't know. Are you full stack MERN? I don't know. Are you full stack Ruby? I don't know. Full stack Elixir? Like, there's like full stack there's so many technologies. You know this. Right? But which one? So let people know. And this gives you a good opportunity for keywords. Again, learn from my mistake, highlight them, bold them out. All right? And then, so this brings me to my next point here, which is have a little blurb about yourself. So you see here, I put my name, right? And I said, okay, cool. What am I? I'm a web developer. And then put something else. A good friend, a fucking awesome dude. Like, I don't care. Put like grandma's favorite. I don't know. Put something. Make it fun. Let people have a good laugh. I've actually had people email me back and say, hey, dude, right now I don't have a senior. I only have senior roles, but I really had a good laugh. And if you're really a good friend, don't worry about it, dude. I'll come back to you. Swear to God, I had people like tell me weird shit, but it means that these hooks catch somebody. You're going to be sending like hundreds of resumes a week. all you really need is just to get that hook in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever gets their attention. Anyways, so now let's go. So I kind of did. I mean, my resume is like, I dolled it up. I went fancy. I was like, you know what? I want my resume. You can flip through 100 resumes and they're all like whatever text. You'll pull my resume and you're like, oh, wait a minute. What is this? Right? So just have your contact. Your contact information should be straightforward. I don't need to tell you that. But like, if you're going to list it out, you see how I list it out here? Okay? Have it in a way that is like pleasant and easy for people to see. Like what do I mean by that? But like I have my contact, my phone number, obviously. I have my email. I have the city because it's important for like scrapers. They want to know like your geolocation kind of for the job that, and this is, you also get job listings that way. But also put your GitHub. You see how my GitHub's here? Put your GitHub. Put your LinkedIn. This is, as soon as they read this, there's a good chance they're going to be like, yep, this guy is a web dev. He's a good guy. This is his story. Let's find out what he's up to. I can't tell you enough. It went 1, 2, 3. It actually went like this. 1, 2, 3. Like, who are you? Wait, what's his name? Whoa. Oh, cool. Oh, what's he up to? A lot of people I like talked to after interviews or whatever, I was like, hey, when you looked at my resume, what did you think? Like, can you give me some pointers? Like, whatever. I didn't care if you didn't want to give me the job. I wanted to at least get information out of you. Okay. So next up, you should do 2 main things. Okay. Put little fun facts. Remember how we did fun facts? You don't have to, but it's a good way. Like, this is supposed to be a serious document, but also let people know that you're a human being. This is part of having the story. But a human being would have interests. Like, for example, like, yeah, I'm a developer. Obviously, I'm a full stack dev. I'm also a project manager. I've done risk analysis, but I'm also a proud nerd. I'm a traveler and a dad. What is it that I like to do in my free time? Well, I like to camp out, have some barbecue, travel, right? And spend time with my family. Whatever that may be. Maybe this gets a couple odds or not. I don't know. I put it in there for that extra little, like, you know, little spice on top. But like, have fun. Have the same resume. Do 3 different copies. Send a bunch out. My point here is that like try to do different iterations. Don't just pigeonhole yourself to one thing. Okay. Cool. So do you have any questions so far, like, about this? I'm going to go over like how I structured this, like how I even got to some of this content. I'm going to give you guys some questions to write down that you can guys pretty much like use to help you build out the content of your resume. But I'm going to leave it open right now for questions. Anybody? Nope.
Vishnu had written a question in the chat here. So would this type of resume also work for bigger, more corporate companies, or is it probably more suitable for a startup or something?
Did this resume help you out at the beginning? Is that the question right here? Sorry, Brandon.
The one underneath. The one underneath.
Yeah, it's the second part.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Brandon.
Cool. Just 1 second here, guys. Sorry about that. So it's honestly, it's hard to say. I went to many different interviews. There's a caveat here. Okay, the caveat is this: most larger companies, they're probably willing to pay, right? But at the same time, they're also most likely looking for more seasoned people. Okay, to that effect, a resume is a resume. I've got job interviews at AutoTrader. I've got interviews that I turned down. Not the interview, but whatever. It wasn't the right job. I've got interview at a company called Fleet Complete. You can look it up. Also turned that job down. Wasn't really a good fit for me. Okay. I've got interviews at a few Fortune 500s with this resume. And had to turn, some of them I didn't make it. Some of them I had to turn down because, again, not a right fit. Which I don't recommend that you guys, I'm not pitching like, hey, if you do get an interview and somebody does give you an offer, turn it down if it's not the right fit. I just had the luxury of being able to pick and choose at that time. So I was looking for something very specific. But that was my personal choice. I do recommend you guys go for the first fit that you feel comfortable. That's my best advice. So circling back to the actual question, yes, it works for big and small. It's just that it comes down to who's going to be looking at it and what are they looking for. A lot of the Fortune 500 or larger companies that called me as a direct result of this resume, they already had scoped me out through other avenues. And we're going to go into that like pretty much almost right now. So I'm going to tell you right now the tool that I use for this, by the way, unless there's any other questions. Actually, is there any more questions?
Hey, yeah, just one more question. Did they actually did they go over your personal portfolio website, or did that even matter?
I'll be honest with you guys. I did not even bother with a portfolio site. I was like, why should I? I'm a developer. I was applying for mainly back-end jobs. Do I need a portfolio site? No. My portfolio site is my GitHub. You go to my GitHub, you check my projects, you go to my READMEs. This is why I was harping hard on, make your GitHub polished, proper, make sure the shit's deployed, make sure it works, make sure that like when you get traffic in there, it's not a dead end, or those people are like, well, if I give you access to my company's GitHub, are you going to turn it into a trash heap? Like make people, no, seriously, but you got to give people the comfort, right? Because as soon as somebody feels a little bit uncomfortable, they just start like backing away, right? And there's no consequence to them because all they have to do is just not call you, right? There's no consequence to them. It's like faceless, right? So like at the end of the day, I use GitHub as my portfolio site. And then I started doing a portfolio site on the side because then I started applying for more front-end jobs. So like, if you have a portfolio site and you're proud of it, by all means, put it here in the contact information. Seriously, put it there because that's where they're going to go to. And if you're going to submit PDFs, make everything clickable. I didn't do that for this. It's my bad. Learn from my mistake. That's one of the things that people were like, hey, you know what? I went straight to your app because it had a link on your PDF. And then from there, I went to your GitHub. Can you just like send me your GitHub? I've had people ask me that kind of stuff, which was basically like, a nice way of saying, can you make your shit clickable? I mean, that's just the best way to put it. Anything else? Cool. Now, I'm not trying to sell this style of resume. I just want to be clear on that. What I'm trying to sell is the idea that you should put some real thought about representing you. Not like going like this, web developer, resume, samples, and then you're like, oh, I want a sample here, 20 plus, let's do it, bro. And then like, what is this guy? Oh, you should write. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, do this. Like, oh, here's a good example. It's not terrible, but you see what he did here? Traditional resume. Can we even zoom this out? Can we zoom this? Let's see if we can. Get out of here. I got it. Piece of shit. Anyways, so here, traditional resume. Right? Developer resume. let's see here. Full stack with a passion for metrics and being a former best yet. This is this it's like a mission statement, but it's who is he? I popularly prolific. Hey, I'm I popularly prolific with a passion for metrics and beating former best yets. So that he's basically saying, Leo, you know what? I don't like status quo. And I like to make that known. Blah, 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 blah. Decreases rework by 20. So this is getting like more technical. This is not, by the way, you see here, this guy is not a junior dev. He has like this resume, 05 to 2017. That's 12 years experience, right? So you also got to take that into consideration. But anyways, the point is like he's got a portion here where he's got like some skills and whatever's, and then he's got his writing on here. It's not really that much different than mine, where I've got some text and then some random shit on the side. But yeah, just don't go and search for someone's template. I didn't template nothing. I was like, I started doing exactly this. I searched web developer resume templates and I started going in. You see these things? I'm telling you, as soon as you fall into this, they will literally take your resume and then put it with the pile with 500 other people. They're just going to be like, yep, off to the side. Cool. Like, and it's not that hard. And here's the best part. It's called Canva. Free account. I think I spent $3 to make this. I think I had to buy 20 cents for this. And I think these three here were like $1.50 American. Big fucking whoop. Spent $3 to do it. Would have cost me more to have a designer make it. Anyways, is anybody familiar with Canva? Anybody ever use Canva? I know, Haley, you probably use Canva.
I've used Canva before.
Yeah, so can you attest to how easy it is?
It's very easy to use. There are a lot of resources that you guys can use that I can share in Slack if you want for like free icons, so you don't have to pay for them. There's pretty much no reason you have to pay for anything on Canva. But like, there's lots of different colors. There's lots of different options that you can use.
Cool. So let's see here. Like, see, I use Canva. I make logos on here. Make random like art. Make random logos. This is one of the paintings that I have. Really nice. Let's see. Boom. See? This is what I was doing. Different stuff. Here's my resume. CV after BitMaker. Tried doing different logos to play around. The problem with some of the Canva stuff, it has watermarks unless you pay for it sometimes. But I tried like different stuff, just playing around. So like you can just go like this, resume, right? And then you go, you see how some of them have pro or free or whatever. So you just go layouts and you just keep looking. Eventually you'll find a nice layout and you customize it. I found like I had a general idea of what I wanted, and then I try to find something. I made this, like I just took a line, and I drew a box, and I did line.
Dennis, it works better if you actually go into like a document, not a logo.
Document.
So go back to Canva, click the Canva logo.
There you go. Someone like,
and
it's good we have somebody who knows it better.
You can type resume at the top there.
Oh, right. Resume, and then it shows you the templates, 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Because now I don't even use a resume. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't even have a resume anymore. I don't need it. And you will get there. Trust me. Because what's going to happen is you're just going to have people messaging you all the time. Then you have a phone call. Then you talk back and forth. They say, hey, come talk to me. You go talk to them. You do your little technical. Really, most of the interview is like, yo, can I work with this guy? Is this guy a dick or not? Really? And then they're like, okay, is he talking shit or does he actually know what he's talking about? Okay, he does. And then that's it. Anyways, so you just go through it, find something, like boom, there you go. Cool. You go in, you start typing away. Start typing away. Then it says the chit. There you go. There's my resume. I look exactly like this too. Don't tell your friends. So anyways, that's the tool. I'll let you play around with it. So don't be scared to be creative. That's my main point here. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about personal brand. Let's have a little personal brand workshop. Do you guys have something to write with here? Or type or something? Okay. I'm going to give you some questions. Okay. I want you, after we're done here, I want you to go and fill them out. Okay. And amongst yourselves, and I really think this would be a really good exercise, maybe share them. Just be like, and then maybe we can proofread it or whatever. And essentially, this will help you kind of gather your thoughts and start figuring out like, hey, what do I really want to convey about myself? Okay. So would it be helpful if I write to everyone in the chat? Would you guys like it in the chat, or would you want me to like dictate the questions?
Write them in the chat.
Is anybody else? More than one person, please.
Yeah, write it in the chat.
All right. So I'm going to say, okay, so question number 1 is, I'm going to say it too. So like really for your personal brand, the very first thing you should think about is what strengths, and this is going to sound so cheesy, but it fucking works. What strengths, if I can spell right, do you bring to the table? Like seriously, what strengths do you bring to the table? Ask yourself that question. Don't even write a resume about it. Just like literally ask yourself that question. So like, for example, what skills do you have? What experience do you have? What are your personal traits that are actually a strength? Like, am I funny? Am I an idiot? I don't know. Like that kind of stuff. So that's that right there. Like, and this is something that I actually wrote out. I pulled this out. I wrote it all out. You see, wrote it all out. And this is actually what led to that PDF resume. So like I put it, for example, traits: energetic, confident, open-minded, empathic, funny, friendly, fearless. Skills: quick learner, multilingual, self-made, experience, lived in turbulent times. Just anything like that. And then from there, you can start kind of like building it up. That's what kind of starts that persona. Then we're going to go into like, okay, so cool. Like really think about yourself and say like, okay, what words would you like people to use when they describe you? Right? Like it sounds really stupid, but it's basically like, these are, it's to get you thinking about yourself and how other people perceive you. Because this is the message you're going to convey on your resume, and this is what you want people to feel about you, right? Like that's actually what the resume should really do. And so like list about 4 to 5 words, basically. Like list, 4 to 5 words, and then just explain it. Like for example, like you can reuse the stuff from the question number 1. Like, so for example, I said, okay, what do people say about me to describe me? Well, people can say I'm really energetic. I'm always up for anything. I'm down, or like I'm confident. I'm never afraid to step in and say something or try something new. That's true. People will say like, you know what, you're a confident person because you'll do whatever. You don't care. Like I'm not afraid to make a mistake. Like people will say I'm consistent. I'm consistently stupid. What can I say? Or like depend. You get the point, right? So like just list 4 to 5 words and explain. Like just expand on it, right? Like what next? So like once you kind of got those things going, wow, that is, can't even edit this. Well, chintz, that should be a 2. We're gonna go for 3. Stupid chintzy chat. Okay, so like next thing like you guys really think about, and like again, once you go through this exercise and you really give it some real thought, when you talk to somebody, like really talk to somebody, whether it's HR or recruiter or anybody who's like interested in talking to you about a job, you're going to be like ready. You're going to be like, quick. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is what people say about me. Here's my experience. Let's talk a little bit more. It's better than people who are like, shit, this is ad hoc. What do I say? Okay. Anyways, so let's say something like, okay, so now that you have like after question 2, let's really like now narrow down the list above. So like let's narrow down this list. Let's narrow this list down to just one word. Like what do I mean by that? Like, so I want you to think about 4 to 5 words, explain them, think about them, and then I want you to really narrow down one. And this is part of like starting to really peel away the layers to build your brand, right? And it's like, if you had to pick one to describe you professionally, which one would it be? And tell me why you think that. Explain your reasoning. Like, help me understand why that describes you professionally. So I'm just going to finish writing that out. So, pick one, narrow down to one word. Like, I'll just put, if you had to pick one to describe you professionally. If I have spelling mistakes, make no excuses about it. There's no spell check here. Which would it be? And then explain your reasoning. Cool. I'll give you a small hint. For example, I put like energetic. Why would that help me? What would that describe me professionally? This is just something I picked, right? I picked all sorts of other stuff, right? And then like in the previous one, I listed, and this is because I will always be willing to start anything. Full steam ahead, not afraid to fail or learn or try. Furthermore, I always try to keep the team engaged, whether it's lighthearted, humorous, or with kindness, to keep that relationship going. Like, it's just like, I know it sounds like kind of stupid, but like that's actually what I wrote like 2 years ago. I kept this paper as a memoir to always like go back and think about that stuff. And then I reiterate it. Like, the point is that like, just pick something, only you know what that is. Okay. And that's what makes it a personal brand. It's yours, right? And my resume, I hope, is when I try to write it, that was the number one thing that I wanted people to take away. When they read my shit, I want it to be like, wow, this guy's like really excited, very energetic about web development. Like, this dude is serious. Let me go check his GitHub. Let me go check his LinkedIn. So number 4, there's not too many. There's only 6. And I can't remember where I found this, but it was like, I did a bunch of them and this was the best one. Okay, so how can you hold yourself accountable for acting in a way that's consistent with the word that you've chosen for your personal standard? Okay, so I want to repeat that. Like, so based on your choice of number 3, how can you hold yourself accountable for acting in a way that's consistent with the word and the explanation that you've given for that personal standard, right? So like, again, it's narrowing it down and getting it forward. So I'm going to type it up here. You just think about that. How can you hold yourself accountable? And I want you just to like brainstorm about that. So I just put it like that. And like, I've just put like, just keep doing what I do. Always have the dialogue open. Always push myself and others around me to go far beyond the expectations set. And I wish I could read my writing. cleared, whatever. Never be afraid to keep making mistakes and let people know that a positive mindset will always help us as a team. I don't know, some bullshit like that. So like, I didn't use all of this, but when I was writing my resume, I always kept it in mind, and I had to paraphrase a lot of it, including in my jobs, in my job descriptions. Cool. Oh shit. The other one's like, boom. Okay, so cool. Number 5. You guys are gonna hate me for this one. So in 150 characters, basically,
What is this, Twitter post?
it's basically a Twitter post. And the reason why we say 100, it's less than a Twitter post, I think, right?
Twitter post is like 280 now.
Yeah, see? Less. Anyways, so in 150 characters, okay? Describe yourself in the most short, concise, engaging way possible. Think about your new world. What is the new world? Think about where you want to be. Think about the job that you want, the career, who you want to become. That is your new world. So in 150 characters or less, describe yourself in the most short, concise, and engaging way. And this is everything that you've done in the previous ones are to get you thinking about ways that you can structure and really dig deep inside you so that you can make a really clear, concise description about yourself that will hook somebody. This is all leading to who the hell are you? Like, this is you, right? And like, that's actually kind of what led to what I wrote on that first initial resume. Like, I'm a traveler, I do this, I like to go out and adventure and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. So I would say to you this, I'm going to put some tips on there to help you guys out. A couple, so basically in 150 characters, a couple of sentences. And this is not like write an essay about yourself. Okay, so if you start writing an essay, you're in the wrong space. Describe yourself in the most short, concise, and engaging way possible. Think about your new world. Okay, so I'm going to do a little tip here, okay? I like hot tips. It's a hot tip. Don't pitch your career path. This is not career. This is not like, oh, I want to be a web developer, the best on earth, and I want to make all this cool shit that like people are going to use, and I'm going to be like the next .com whoever. No, seriously. This is not career pitch. This is not like my goals and aspirations. This is not none of that shit. It's just write down who the hell you are and what makes you you in a couple of sentences. That's engaging. All right. So I'm going to write that down before I forget. Don't pitch your career path. Yeah, just write down who you are. Cool. All right. Last one here, okay? So let's put it all together, okay? Basically, let's mold all of these thoughts together, right? Like, create your personal brand pitch as if you were speaking to an interviewer. This is what all this was leading to. This is your elevator pitch. I believe I mentioned that on a couple of times, especially when I was like, yo, what's your elevator pitch? I was leading up to this because the elevator pitch, like, I meet you randomly and I'm like, hey dude, la la la. Oh, you're a web dev? Oh, cool. What's your stack? Oh, you do MERN? Oh, okay, awesome. What's your latest project? Oh, so on, so. Okay. Tell me a little bit about yourself. If you start rambling, I couldn't give a shit what you just told me. You have about 10 to 15 seconds for me to decide whether you're a dick or not. Like, I know it's crude, but that's the way it is, man. And like, it's not like I don't do it consciously. As an employer or an interviewer, I don't do it consciously. I'm just like literally being like, can I really deal with this guy every day or girl every day at my work? If I hire this person, am I going to regret sitting beside this person or going on a call every day for Scrum with this person? So that's why this elevator pitch really is trying to get rid of all those things, because nervousness, uneasiness, imposter syndrome, all these cloud of doubts, all this like gray clouds that hang around us, they essentially give off the wrong impression. And I know you guys are fucking awesome. So, except for the people that show up, just saying. JK, recorded. So JK, you people watching after. Okay, cool. So let's just write it down. Let's mold all of these thoughts together. Create your personal pitch, personal brand pitch, as if you're speaking to an interviewer. Like how can I put it? Like, let's bake in how your strengths. Like basically, like what I'm trying to say is like use the personal strengths that you have listed to leverage you into your new career move. Like basically use that, like quote unquote bake in how your personal strengths will propel you to your new career. Like I'll be honest, I forgot the 6 there. Oh well, YOLO, it happened. Like, I'll be honest with you, this shit's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And whoever tells you it's easy is lying to you. Because they can't face the fact that they struggle. Like, it took me 6 months to find a job. Like, let me phrase this. It took me 6 months to find the job that I actually wanted to work at. Like a proper, something I was happy with, the right culture, the right fit, the right stack. I mean, there's plenty of jobs out there where they were like, oh, just write jQuery all day. I was like, fuck that. Can't pay me enough. Or like, just convert these shitty templates from a technology nobody uses for the last 30 years. Like, just don't pigeonhole yourself into shitty jobs, okay? Don't let people take advantage of you for shitty jobs either. Okay, cool. That's that. Any questions? We're gonna move on from this. So I'm gonna unmute people's. So if you're talking dirty, there's nothing I can do about it. You've been unmuted. Cool. So any questions, please? Any feedback?
I know this isn't most people here, but like, if I've just like finished uni and like really don't have like another career, and I like studied something completely different, I just want to know, like, I know we're talking about personal traits, which that would help, but like for the personal experience part, what would I add in there? That's like
which question was that?
Not the question, but like the resume when I was like
the resume personal experience. Okay, cool. So actually, that's a good question. So what happens if you feel like you don't have enough experience to actually do it? Well, you do. You have life experience, and you volunteered. You've done other things. It's not like it's free. So for your resume. So like, previewer. Where's the desktop? So your resume, what have I done? You see here?
Yeah.
You are going to be more project-based. I obviously had experience to talk about, But if you lack the experience, or you feel that, hey, I don't really have, like, I don't want to put this restaurant job that I worked at, like if I worked at Subway or whatever, if you feel like I don't really feel comfortable putting my job on there, then you see here, I felt that my education was the least of my not my strength, but I felt education was the thing I wanted to emphasize the least. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to juggle what to emphasize. So whatever, that's the whole point of this personal brand. Like, what is your strength? Like, go through these, really dig deep about yourself, figure out where you really have that extra value. And then that's where you start to juggle. Like, so for you, I would pretty much, my studies, like what have I studied and what have I done, and your personal projects would probably be the larger chunk of your resume, while your work experience would probably be little one-liners. Like 2005, worked at this company. Don't put a role. 2003, worked at this, or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So like, again, for whatever, because everybody's situation is different. But the secret sauce to resume building is knowing which aspects of your personal experiences and self you are going to emphasize. If you have a lot of work experience, that's probably what you want to emphasize. If you have a lot of school experience, that's probably where you want to emphasize. Either way, you're all going to be junior. When they go, if they take the time to go through it and read your GitHub and do whatever, you're all going to be junior. So at the end of the day, it won't make any difference. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? That was a good question. I'm happy you asked. Any feedback? No? All right, cool. I'm the boss. Yeah. Worst things have happened. Cool. So let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. So the first thing I did, obviously, was, like, first of all, I had LinkedIn for a while. I used to have like over 1,000 connections. So I started deleting a bunch of finance connections because I don't really want them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want anything to do with them. Just forget it. Right? Like, it's not that I don't want to do anything with it. It's just like, it's kind of useless for me. Okay? So LinkedIn 101 here. Nothing too crazy or special. Okay? But the name of the game for LinkedIn, you see here, look familiar right here? Right? What is that? Who am I? It came straight off my resume. Consistency, remember? Obviously, I expanded it. This is where I put my like little essay. Okay? Because your resume has got to be a one-pager. So here, I actually took the time to take what I wrote here and turn it into something meaningful. Like, I'm an adventurer, blah, 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 blah. And, so where I dropped off, I said, nothing captivated me more than the journey of being a web developer. Great. I want to bring that energy and drive to any project and add it to its success in any way possible. So I added a little extra blurb to it. Once the resume was created, I PDF'd it. I didn't feel like changing it. Would have been nice to add that little blurb, but then it was pushing it off the page. So I was like, F it. You have to cut some corners, cut some costs somewhere, right? And then like, I just go into like, my journey here has been both nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time. It's that challenge that hooks me into every project I take on. So this is more like to Zainab, like, hey, right now, when I was building this, I was a little bit more junior, which is great. So what? But like, I didn't really have any experience, as a web dev. So what did I do? I focused on my studies. Okay. So I studied both full stack web development and UI UX design at BitMaker. You're going to say U of T, blah, blah, blah. So let's talk about what you studied. Just like, for example, if you have like, what's your undergrad? Somebody give me an undergrad right now.
Life science.
Life sciences. So knowing life sciences, I studied life sciences at whatever, U of T. It taught me a great deal about blah, 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 blah. Those skills give me a unique insight into web development, because life sciences is not very different from approaching any project that I take. And then you just go into it. I'm just making this shit up.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You have to kind of like, I'm just making an elevator pitch as I go, right? So like, let's go through a little bit more of this. So like, I studied full stack UX design. Having knowledge of both front and back end gives me different perspective on projects from both sides. Not a big deal. Just it's a whole bunch of jargon that basically tells people a whole lot of, hey, I'm cool and I kind of pretending to know what I'm talking about if you take the time to read it. It's this knowledge that drives me to develop a keen eye for design while still thinking critical of the project's implementation. I mean, kind of says some stuff, doesn't really say anything too specific about my skills, but it sounds fucking cool. It sounds like I'm a boss, right? I go on to say like for example, like this is actually a culmination of, this was actually what I wrote for number 6, the final one, believe it or not. I wrote this little essay for myself. Try to keep it simple. My first thought is, what can I drop? Then how do I present it to the user? Then can I hide anything? Finally, what can I displace? This is some random shit for design stuff. I look for some keywords, like what are the top things for web design that are important? I found that shit, and then I started building some sentences around it. You know what I mean? Just like find some little hook and make it your own. It is these reflections that guide my decisions to a simple and thoughtful design. See? Boom, like a boss. With the focus on the main content, it helps deliver the intended message effectively. Bam. All of a sudden, it's like, I'm a fucking designer. Shit. What else? And then I go on to say, this is actually right here, this little paragraph here. It's important to like let people know that you'll play well with others. Okay. So I go on to say like, you know, I'm always open to consider other opinions and design ideas. So I'm not like rigid. This flexibility allows me to collaborate effectively. In other words, I work well with others. I'm going to be hired as a team member. It's important to work together in order to yield a positive outcome that satisfies all stakeholders. And I understand it's important. 5 simple words that I wrote on my page translates to something that when somebody reads that, I've actually had people contact me specifically on this paragraph. No joke. I'll get to your question 1 second, okay, Vishnu? And I started applying. I'll get to your question 1 second. Cool. This right here. Keywords. Hammer that shit. Just hammer it. Just go ham. I don't give a shit. I believe there are some restrictions on characters. I can't remember exactly, but just start naming shit. Boom, boom, boom. Because the scraper will pick this up. You need this. Rails, React, Node, ES6, Express, Mongo, Postgres, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you have collaboration, testing, Scrum, blah, blah, blah. You get the point here. Just put the keywords in there. But I want your scraper to pick me up, and then I want you to find out about me. I want you to get excited to meet me. That's my mentality about it. Is it right? I don't know. It works. Is it wrong? Some people don't like it. Do your thing. That's why opinions are important, because they differ, right? I will say this right here, put a hook at the end of all your statements, which is don't be shy, snoop around, check my GitHub and projects. I'm always open to comments and suggestions. Here's my GitHub. So I want you to be, I want to be very, very clear here, because we're going to go more into GitHub stuff. Now, private to me. Let's see. How many people view my GitHub? Boom. I get at least 15 to 20 views a day. Just doing shit all. So I had at least 122 people view my GitHub this month, and we're on December 4th. Right? Make some posts. Pay attention to your search appearances. Right now, I have like career path advice. I have all that shit off. So my search appearances are not like high. These are specifically for premium LinkedIn members who are recruiters they can still find you regardless. Participant career advice, let recruiters know you're open. So you see this part right here? This is very, very, very important. Your LinkedIn is absolute trash if you're looking for a job unless you have this shit turned on. Do not fill out salary expectations. Do not. I don't recommend it. Don't ever pigeonhole yourself about money. Always leave money open-ended, but let people know you're interested. I turned it off because I was just getting like way too many people, man. I was getting like literally flooded. I still get flooded, but it's just way too much. Okay, cool. So this little picture up here, customize it, man. Don't be a square. Make it something. I don't care. Make it something funny. Make it something great. I chose something related to web dev, specifically UI, UX design. I thought this was a nice picture. Okay, cool. I obviously have work experience, but let's go. This is before I had work experience. So let's go here. This is what I started off with. Okay, this is what I started off with. I wish I had a cached version of this because this LinkedIn changed dramatically. As soon as I finished school, actually, as soon as I started school, I deleted almost everything. Look at this. See how much is here? This is actually back to what you were asking about, Zainab. You see here how much is here and how little is here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see that? How these don't expand, but this one does?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll explain to you. This is part of the secret sauce for LinkedIn, okay? Before, these were huge. These three were huge for me, okay? So what you should do, if you have work experience on your LinkedIn or have work experience, period, and you want to put it on LinkedIn, summarize it in the same way that I had showed you. Like cherry pick some stuff that you did during your employment. It doesn't have to be a lie. You can massage it so that it sounds technical, but don't try to lie. Like don't blatantly lie because you'll get fucked if somebody calls that company or you want to use a reference there. Because if you lie about it, then you kind of burn your bridge, i.e. you can't use a reference there. So you kind of have to pick your battles, right? So anyways, having said that, this is exactly what I wrote on my resume. Exactly, word for word, plus minus a space and some other shit. I put like a little bit, I talked about PeopleSoft, but you put a couple of keywords there, Office Suite, whatever. What did I do here? Exactly the same thing. I did 1, 2, 3. 3 main points. Why? This is a transition resume. LinkedIn is your resume. It's going to be pretty much almost your go-to resume. More so, I've used LinkedIn as a resume 1,000 times more than I've used my actual resume. Like, no joke. When I apply for LinkedIn jobs, I don't even use my resume. I use the LinkedIn. It packages it all up, sends it out, super nice. And it's really nice. Anyways, so we touched on this, super summarized. I just want to say one of the key words here is, one of the main things here, I want you guys to really think here is I created. I'm not a follower to create things, to generate initiatives. I use my mind to solve problems for you. I don't just go there and wait for you to tell me what to do. So I'd be like this, well, unless you tell me what to do, not really going to do anything. Like I know it sounds kind of stupid, but these are kind of things that like psychologically people get triggered by, right? So like, I created tools. I, created an initiative. So like I led initiatives. Like these are just stick with like, hey, I drive success. Okay. Cool. So let's go back to, so I pretty much deleted a bunch of shit, rewrote it. Okay. So I started here, deleted a bunch of shit, rewrote it. started working on my LinkedIn. I will tell you this, you will have experience, okay? That experience is going to be called freelance full stack web developer. I'm a freelance self-employed. Who the fuck is going to question that? Okay? You know what your freelance work is going to be? Well, while I was looking for client work, I was working on all these awesome projects. I worked on them with these. I went through these hackathons. I did this. I was solving these problems. I don't give a shit if you tell them like, yo, if the truth is this, my grandmother needed a website to show me how cool kittens are. I don't know. Well, that's a fucking project. It's a freelance work. You did it pro bono. So what? That's still experience. You treat it like you do a job. Treat all your projects like you treat a full-time job. And you can speak to them as if they were your work. This is the mindset you need to put yourself in. Otherwise, you're just reading a book, or otherwise it's leisure. That's what I'm trying to say. Differentiate leisure and actual work. And if you can put yourself in that mindset and sell yourself that, hey, this is my job. I'm not getting paid right now, but this is my fucking job. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to work it like my job. And I'm going to treat it as serious as my day-to-day job. And believe me, it will pay dividends. So what did I do? I said, okay, I started playing around with some HTML, CSS back in September before I decided to go to a boot camp. So I was like, all right, cool. This is my deal. So obviously I'm going to be self-employed freelance, which is true. And I did a little blurb. This is where I put something a little bit different. So I'm not reiterating the same goddamn shit I put in the top. So I put, I really love helping people, solve real world problems, blah, 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 blah. That's like the mission statement. With experience in both blah, 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 designing prototypes. This is how I help my clients, blah, blah, blah. I would love to hear about any projects that you may need help with. So I'm basically like trying to sell myself as whatever. After this, we'll go into like where I started sourcing clients. A couple of you guys, I think, do client work from what I understand. So, I mean, you're more than welcome to chime in on that, but we'll go after that. So this is old as fuck. I didn't even touch it. I don't even give a shit. Nobody even asks me about any of this shit anymore. People just see my title. They see where I work. And then they're like, yo, you want a job? It's kind of funny how things turn out after. Anyway, so recent projects. Here's my recent project. I put like where it's hosted. You see how all these are hosted? They better damn right be hosted. If they're not hosted, shit ain't real. I don't give a shit. The shit better have links that you can go check out. Okay? Bottom line. So it's hosted here. A little blurb about it. Next one. Boom. Some more technology stack. This is more for like in case a recruiter's looking at it. A little blurb about it. Again, something else. A little blurb about it. Showing some like different technology that I'm trying to do. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'd go, okay, static websites. So this is like a portfolio site that I was playing around with. Another portfolio site I was playing around with. I was using it to like show some people like, yo, if you need a site, this is what I'll do for you, kind of shit. It was trash as hell. But who cares? Ain't nothing but a thing. I don't know why. I clicked on something. The frig. Okay, cool. And then I go like, here's the thing. So put some like, hey, here's what I've recently worked on. List them out. Here's where it's hosted. It basically gives people that like little extra hook to go check it out without actually going to your GitHub. And then you go like, hey, this is what I'm actually working on. An e-commerce platform, popular blog with whatever integration. So put stuff like, hey, I didn't just do this. Put stuff that you're working on. Go in there, update it regularly. Like until you get a job, you need to show activity, show some life on your LinkedIn. Treat it like you would your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever. It needs to breathe, live, and eat every day. Otherwise, you just won't get the hits that you need. Cool. So I noticed you guys had, okay, somebody give me a LinkedIn here. I know, Haley, you asked me to roast yours, but let's take another one here. Somebody else give me a LinkedIn. We'll roast a couple. Before we do that, actually, so what any brave souls, please post it in the chat. I implore you. And I'm not really going to roast it. I'm going to compare the two. If you don't, I'm just going to go into my friends list and find you guys. So believe me, you already added me, so you guys are screwed.
Siraj shared his.
I see. He's a brave soul. He's a brave soul. Let it be known. All right. First things first, you need a better picture, son. Go somewhere. It's just like, my picture's trash. I think, I don't know, people like it, whatever. I use it everywhere. But just go somewhere, get like a whatever background, take a quick picture, and just plaster it everywhere, okay? Anyways, so I'm going to, so before we roast a little further, and then I'm going to roast somebody who didn't volunteer. So y'all beware. And I know who you are because your names are here. So let's go with, let's answer Vishnu's question first. Did you apply right after you finished your boot camp, or did you wait a bit until you had more personal project skills under your belt? The answer is no, Vishnu. I applied about a month and a half to 2 months into my 3-month program. So halfway through my program, I started applying. And I mean applying like 5 jobs minimum a day. I was just firing with like, and I used that to fine tune my resume. I started querying people. I was like, hey, I'm a student. But people would reply, be like, they talked to me. They knew right away. Didn't do shit. I was like, oh, I don't know, whatever. But then I'd be like, listen, I'm a student. I'm going through school. I'm going to graduate. So I use this to help me. I put myself out there, put my neck out there. And then I use that exposure to fine tune the process so that when I graduated, I had all these products ready to go. So as soon as I finished, I was pro, or as much as I could be under my own guidance, right? So there's another caveat to that. You need to apply as much as possible, because I was getting replies to job interviews for things that I applied like let's say I would apply in October. Somebody called me about that job interview like February. Swear to God. I used to get people like calling me for interviews like weird. I was like, who are you? When did I apply for this? And I'd go through LinkedIn or go through whatever, find it, and it was like time ago. 1 second. I need to change my battery here. Cool. I'm juiced. I'm juicing. Should probably crack a beer. It's very appropriate for a class environment. Actually, when I was a BitMaker, I used to bring beers to school all the time. Fuck it. Cool. So a little bit more about LinkedIn. So not to roast your thing, but I want to just emphasize here. Okay. So yours is not too bad, but experience, full stack, self-employed, 8 months. Why do they keep doing that? Okay. So you need a little bit more girth here, obviously, right? My whole thing about it here is that don't just say May. Go back to a point where you started playing around with HTML, CSS, whatever. Just go dig deep as far back as you can, because nobody's going to validate your freelance work. And if anybody asks, you'd be like, yo, I was playing around with these websites. They were really shit. A lot of them are down now. I don't know. I don't care. Say something. Fake it till you make it. That's the name of the game, right? So, and this is for all of you guys, because I've seen a lot of different LinkedIns that have so what I do like about yours is that you have the stuff here. So this is actually filled in more so than your actual university degree. So what I would do is, let's do like this. Go into, did you guys get a syllabus for the program? Did you guys get a syllabus?
Yes. Yep.
Go to the syllabus and start cherry picking, straight copy pasting it. Because you see my BitMaker here? This was straight up from my syllabus. Obviously, it wasn't this small, but I went to the syllabus. I started cherry picking the syllabus, and then I started pretty much paraphrasing it to fit my need. Because you could say all of this, like you see how this is kind of like illegible. It's a little bit hard to read, right? Like not that it's bad. It's just like it's like blah 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 blah. It's not structured. Like look at this one. For example, I go, this is my program, full-time immersive program mixing lecture and project-driven learning. In other words, this is how I learned. This is the content delivery. This is how it differs from your university program. Okay? This is important. Learning multiple frameworks to solve real-world problems with code. Boom. In other words, hey, they didn't just teach me one thing. I learned all sorts of shit. And it was only 3 months. The fuck? So like, I had to like be on that shit. This combination churns out kick-ass developers with the skills needed to jumpstart a career and launch an innovative idea. You know what I'm saying? I paraphrase. I was like, I don't give a shit. You read this, you're going to feel good about this. I've had people, actually, it's funny. I've had people LinkedIn message me saying, dude, I totally loved your description about BitMaker, and it's the reason why I went there. Anyways, core skills, and then I go, okay, this is what I learned for front end. Build beautiful sites with blah, 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 using modern approaches, so on and so forth. I just listed, because I already listed my stuff here. Here's all my scraper stuff. So if you go into my school, I want you to like really understand what the program is. I want people who go here to really, really understand the value of the bootcamp. Like tell people how excited you are that you got this knowledge. And this is why it's so valuable. This is why it's worth the money. And employers will understand that. Like they really will. They'll go in here and they'll be like, okay, what the fuck is it that they learned? Boom, 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 boom. He's like, yeah, okay, boom, wow, okay, great. So like, you know, for example, server-side development, work with open source frameworks, web applications, store and manipulate data, boom. And then I go into, you know, we don't just learn code, we learn collaboration, teamwork, design, Git, everything. Like it's about not just programming. Like I learned how to be not only a developer, but a good developer, a good worker, a good team member, blah, 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 right? And like, you know, for example, work using Git, and also get best practices. Like these are just small keywords that jump out at people. You see here, see my other education? I didn't put shit. I don't want you to even look at that shit. I want you to, when you go here, I don't want you looking at anything else. I want you, I'm trying to get the blinders on you and get you to focus on anything that I specifically need you to look at. That's part of the secret sauce for LinkedIn, okay? Front-end interactivity, creating blah, 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 third-party APIs with JavaScript, dynamically updates. Like, I don't need to mention that. This is from the syllabus. So go into the syllabus, paraphrase it, share it with each other. There's nothing wrong with having the same shit. You all went to the same program. So you guys, I would say to you, leverage each other and go check out each other's LinkedIn and find out like, yo, you know what? This sounds really good, but don't like copy paste their shit from their work experience, copy paste their shit from something that is actually the same. Second thing, what is BitMaker? It's a bootcamp, yeah, but it's a full stack web development in information technology. It's not a high school course. It's not a certificate. It's not like some shitty place. It's a post-secondary piece of education. Let that be known. It's part of your LinkedIn. Like if you go to LinkedIn, if you go to edit it, you can choose grade. I just put post-secondary. Field of study. Boom, boom, boom. You understand? Really important. I really, really want to emphasize that it's not some like random Udemy course that I took. I went to a facility that is well known to teach a very specific skill set, and it's not Mickey Mouse shit. This is post-secondary education. Okay? Don't sell yourself short. That's another thing. Holy shit, I can't believe I volunteered at can you believe this shit? 13 years. 13 years I volunteered at United Way Region of Peel. Dude. And I still do. Put that shit. Put like dumb shit. Like I baked my grandmother a cake and she was fucking happy. I don't care. Just put stuff. Skills and endorsement. Look at this. See how many skills and endorsement? This is a really nice way for you to just show up on what's the thing called, on searches. That's all. Please, all of you, please go here and endorse every single one of my goddamn skills. I see there's 10 people here. I better see 10 extra endorsements on my shit. I'm just saying. And then endorse each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Just endorse each other. Endorse each other till your heart's content. It just helps you guys move up, like bubble up on the searches. So just, yeah, endorse. Okay? Accomplishments. Fill out your accomplishments section. I did 2 projects. Here's my project. You've probably never even seen this portion on LinkedIn ever. Look where your LinkedIn ends. Skills and endorsements. What's the point? Right? So, like, here's the thing. You need to really, really fill all of this stuff out. Why is it important? It all hits. When you apply for a job through LinkedIn, this all gets packaged in there. If they get this and they get this, even if we came from the same program, who the hell do you think is going to get a better score? Like, that's just the way it goes, right? It's a computer.
Yeah.
It's just a computer, right? The computer just gives you a score and it says like, yo, this guy has volunteer work. He has 3 post-secondary. He has 4 projects, like blah, 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 right? That's just the way it goes, right?
Right.
So like, again, my project, it's literally, the same shit. This application is a thought experiment turned into practice after contemplating different ways to play with social media analytics and comparing it to trends. That was literally what my final project was. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to try to get all sorts of API information and try to figure out what the hell it does and what can I do with it? Like, and then I did like, this is how you use it, blah, 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 blah. See the project, the link for it, right? And then I did other stuff, other projects. And you can do like hundreds of these. It doesn't matter. Certification. Fill in your certification. Where's your certification from? General Assembly, BitMaker. I already put my education here, but this is my certificate. You guys got a certificate. You guys graduated a certificate. Goddamn, fill it out there. U of T. Certificate as a full stack web developer. MERNstack. When? Whatever. This says present. Who gives a shit? You understand what I'm saying here? Like you need to go through, like, I know it's very tedious. All of this is a culmination of like at least a couple of weeks of work, writing shit down, going through it. Like it's work. Okay? It's fucking work. I don't know how else to put it, but it pays dividends. Here's the beauty. Do LinkedIn first. Put all the thought into it. Make it good. Get that like super, super polished, hey, you're a LinkedIn super member. I can't remember where the frig it says that, but mine is like, I got like, see, all-star. Like, it'll give you a rating. Like I'm like on the top tier of the searches when people search on LinkedIn. Again, pays dividends. Make sure you have activities. Do shit, post shit, share shit. I don't care if it only gets 1 like. Like, who gives a shit? You're doing that already on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Take that energy and that time. Don't waste it. Just migrate it to LinkedIn. Right? That's it. Put whatever. Who cares what it is? Right? Like, hey, life after boot camp. I did this. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if nobody's ever going to read it or 100 people read it. Who gives a shit? You're going to be applying for jobs. You want people to be like, yo, this guy actually does stuff. Like, let's see what posts I have. I have like the most random shit. Like I have this random shit, and I have this guy. He's the guy that I work with. He has a story, and I'm like, hey, interesting read. And then I put like, hey, here's an event, like activity. Here's some stuff, authenticated users, Amazon AWS. I saw this shit on Facebook. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Let me share this on LinkedIn. Like, this absolutely nothing to do with development. That's not the point. It shows that I'm a person. I'm alive. My LinkedIn is active. If this happens to get your attention, you click on it. You say that's cool. You might have a contact that will never ever see me, but now they will, because I don't know who the hell Leo Rees is. I would have never seen who the hell he is, but because these people shared a shared post, like you know what I'm trying to get at? Like, this is my boss. This is what we do at work. This is at the airport, actually. FedEx. See the TTC bus? Shit's boom. Okay, dude, come on. You got the arm muscle. Okay, there you go. Boom. I was there. It was boom. We installed. Okay, that's enough, dude. Anyways, you get the point here. Like, you see how much stuff is actually coding? Like, it's a mix. Here's some like influence, like Rails, full stack, GraphQL. Like, anyways, you get the point here. And it keeps going. I try to post one thing a week, maybe at least twice a month, just to keep that activity going. What else? Go in, start liking stuff, join stuff, go to companies. So here's my LinkedIn search. So let's get into jobs now. Okay, I go, okay, I'm gonna go into web developer. Okay, I am just going to go into every single goddamn one. I'm gonna apply. I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not even gonna read it. I know that sounds crazy.
Sorry, even if it says like PHP or .NET needed?
Dude, I don't give a shit. In 3 months, I learned 3 different frameworks: styling, hosting, deployment, design, project management, Scrum. I learned so much in 3 months, and I made like a production-ready application. You're telling me that in 3 months I won't learn? I can't learn your Angular app? Are you fucking crazy?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, I understand.
What I'm saying to these people is like, yo, I don't care what you put in front of me. Like, you tell me, oh, well, like, this is Angular. I said, so what? Is it JavaScript? Last time I checked, it's JavaScript. Right? Oh, okay, it's JavaScript. So then we're talking the same language. So what? I learned React. What's your point?
The one thing about applying to these jobs is if you don't have the skills in your list, it will, like, if you try to apply, it will say, like, you have 3 of the 8 skills.
Yes. So, yeah, there's some caveats, but who cares? Just do it. I'm telling you, just do it, man. I think when I was applying, I ran out of jobs to apply on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn, like, so anyways, let's just say junior. There's a problem with searching for junior developer. I wish I had, actually, let's just do that, because they'll take, what, junior developer, come on. And let's say, and I did GTA. The greater, what? They don't have the greater Toronto area. God, so shit. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, sure. Oh, wait. Did I see Toronto area? Toronto, Canada area. Okay, cool. I don't care if it's Mississauga, Scarborough. I'm just going to apply. I don't care if I even like the job or not. This is why that's why I turned down some jobs, right? Because I was applying to everything. But my point here is that you need to get out there, talk to people, start doing interviews, get some experience, fail a little bit. Like, go there, make an ass of yourself. I did it plenty of times. But do it in a place they don't give a shit about. Like, go there, find out what these people are going to ask you, refine your pitch, get all that shit going, you know?
So, like, what's the average time people get back to you, though?
That I can't say. It could be months, it could be weeks, it could be next day. It really depends. So anyways, let's just go through. So like, for example, like you see here, some of these are like FDM group, like basically, I'm just going to go into it. FDM is clearly a recruitment agency. Like, you know, senior developer, whatever, junior. The problem with junior devs is you will probably find, you get LinkedIn Premium, first of all, because it's free. Okay. And I got LinkedIn Premium because it was free. And then when I canceled it, they gave me 3 months for the price of 1 month. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. It's really worth it because it gives you a bunch of metrics that it's not available here. It tells you like how many people applied, the skills that they applied, like how close they were, how many people apply per day. Like it gives you a bunch of metrics that are really, really nice. Like see how you compare to 57 applicants, Reactivate Premium. It's actually really nice when it's free. I wouldn't pay $70 a month for that. Fuck that shit. But it's really worth it when it's free. So yeah, anyways, I would just go like that. And then I would search junior developer, I would just, every single type of combination. I will search React. I'll search Ruby. I'll search anything. I don't give a shit. I'll search whatever. Apply. Easy apply. I went for all the easy applies because here you just go, I don't really want to apply for this job, but you just say easy apply. Boom. When you go to easy apply, these people are going to call me for sure. God damn it. Okay, so you can upload your resume. So when you go into the job application settings, set up your one-click apply. Okay? This will basically, literally just click a button and it sends your whole, it will like take a PDF version of your whole LinkedIn profile and will make it into a resume. You see here, full stack, blah, 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 blah. Different versions. Like January, I was applying for jobs. All sorts of shit, right? Let's see what else. Save on-site applications, so on and so forth. So go through those options, get it set up. And you see here how it has the check marks. This is related to those skills that I was telling you about. Remember the little skills? So just make sure that you put that stuff all on there and get it endorsed. I don't care. Like when I look at it, I just go, okay. Go like this. Okay. What's your stack? I don't give a shit. What we're looking for? Okay. Has whatever knowledge of Ruby, Rails. Okay. Good knowledge of Postgres. Yep. Comfortable working? No, we don't give a shit. As soon as I see 1, 2, 3, apply. If you look at 3 of those and you're like, yep, yeah, I know a little bit about those 3, or I can talk about those 3, apply. Don't even think. I won't even read the rest. Next. Go, okay, Spiro, Oakville, what do you guys want? I don't even look at the experience. I don't even look at this shit. Okay, it needs Ruby on Rails, data modeling design. Yeah, easy. Experience with REST. Understanding of this shit. Great. Need to know at least jQuery. Yep. Look, mid to senior. The reason why they put mid to senior, this is actually a trick. The reason why they put mid to senior is because they don't want like 10,000 people to apply. As soon as you put junior developer, let's find a junior developer job. Watch. Junior developer. Not Salesforce. Let's see Java. 331 applicants. Okay. Let's go back to the mid. Senior developer, 3 applicants. Right? The other one was junior Java. What was Ruby on Rails, right? Mid to senior. So they're saying, and what do they call mid to senior? 3 years experience. I could walk into this place and be like, yo, what's up? And they'd be like, all right, you want a job? like, it's because look who I'm going against. I'm only going against 12 people. It's because everybody's like, oh, junior. Get that out of your mind. Apply for fucking everything, man. Don't pigeonhole yourself. Okay? I'm trying to remember. Okay, I will get back to you guys on something else, but I recall there was in settings, make sure that in your privacy and your preferences in your account management, right? Make sure that you are fully open. Like, make sure you don't have anything blocked. Like, make sure that anybody and their grandmother and their dog can find you. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, don't cut yourself short. Account management. Twitter settings. Link it to your Twitter. I'm going to find, and then privacy. Yeah, edit your public profile. Who can see your email address? Open all of this. Make sure all of this shit, profile visibility off of LinkedIn. Make sure all of this is open. Can't say it enough. How others see your activity. Open. Make sure everyone. Yes. Everyone. Okay, followers, everyone. Blocking, no one. Unfollow, no one. I don't give a shit. What else? There is a way for your LinkedIn to export itself. So once you create your LinkedIn, export it, and then you can build your resume off of that. Maybe do that and then build the resume. I don't know, your pick. Because at least if you have the LinkedIn, you can start doing easy apply. Okay? How does that list? Let's go to another resource. AngelList, startups, small companies. This is your startup heaven. There's another one called Startup North. Startup North. Everyone. All right. Okay, they're in the chat. Log in. Yep. So you're gonna kind of get a lot of overlap, but honestly, just because you applied on LinkedIn doesn't mean you can't apply on over apply. I don't give a shit. I applied to some jobs like 5 times. I don't give a shit. Applied on 5 different platforms. They say, oh, why did you apply 5 times? I don't know. I just applied to everything. Looking for a job. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? Like, so this works the same way. Make a profile, right? Make a profile. They have a little bit of different rules into what you can do, but essentially I imported my LinkedIn profile into here, and then it just auto-filled it, and then I just, whatever it didn't do properly, I just fixed it up. Right? Like here, look, founder, freelance, web developer. Look familiar? It's basically the same shit. Freelance. Here you have to say founder. I called it a company name, Intelligent Solutions. There you go. It's actually legit. So who's gonna say, like, you don't have to call it, like, I don't have to call it Dennis Incorporated. I can call it whatever the hell I want. Okay, cool. Here. This is actually my project here. Boom. You can search whatever. This is Matt Fox, by the way. These are all the Twitter and whatever feeds, and this is how I hacked Instagram, those dicks. They won't let me get direct access to the API. No problem. I'll hack their ass and go through the back door. All good. Somebody liked it. I don't even know who the hell would like it, but whatever. Somebody went on here and liked it. I mean, look, they liked all 3 of them. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Show me the love. And it's just same shit. What I do, as you do these over and over and over again, you're going to fine tune it. So do this. I know, like, my class was 20. Look, it's written in React. I know that my class was 28 people. Only about 12 of us got a job. Okay? That's the reality. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to you guys, but I'm just saying, like there's 2 kinds of people. People who want a job and people who just want to learn something. Right? So 12 of us like got a job. I know out of 12 of us, at least 6 of us got a job through AngelList. Okay. I found a lot of interviews. There's another one, Startup North. I know 3 people got a job at Startup North. Was it 6? 6 people got a job through AngelList/LinkedIn. I know 2 people got a job at Startup North. So there's a job section here. It's specifically for, it's 99% Toronto. It's like really low key, under the radar kind of shit. But you'll find different kinds of jobs, like really small companies who can't afford to pay LinkedIn will go on these sites. This site still has a fee. Like I could go here. The only thing is beware here. I could go there and say, I own a company and I'm looking for 3 devs. And then you go there and I don't really have any money to pay you. You work for me for 2 weeks. And then I'll be like, oh, sorry, I don't have money to pay you. So just be careful, okay? So yeah, that's that. Cool, Startup North. And then the other one was, this is another one that I did, ZipRecruiter. This one is really good. Yeah, so this one's really good. And what's going to happen is it has a mobile app. The mobile apps are usually pretty decent, especially because you get notifications. ZipRecruiter, what I really like about ZipRecruiter is, let's say it actually what they do is they have access to about most of the APIs. Like they have access to almost all the APIs. Like what are those? I'm not saying don't go to like Monster or what's the other one? What's the other one, guys? Help me out here. How often I go?
Indeed.
And what's
Workopolis.
Workopolis. Like go to those. Once you have your LinkedIn, you can import your LinkedIn and just straight copy paste it. It'll parse it for you. I'm not saying don't use those. Use everything. Apply to everything, right? But these guys here, they will actually pull their API and they have like some kind of a deal with them or some shit like that. And then so they get a lot of stuff. And what I really liked about ZipRecruiter, this is actually where I found my personal job. Their fees are way less. So you get a lot more smaller companies that are willing to take a risk on more junior people. Like smaller companies are like the best place, honestly, for me and for you guys when you're starting out was like, you need to go to a place that already has like a really senior dev, someone who really knows their shit and can kind of like give you direction, but give you the space you need to like learn, grow, and have input. So like, you're not just a code monkey, but you actually like meaningful shit you're doing and you have a voice and it's being heard. Okay. So small to medium companies are usually like that. So having said that, back to ZipRecruiter here. ZipRecruiter, let's say I apply for a job. Let me see if I have a thing here. It's been a while. I haven't really applied to jobs for a while. Oh, wow. Great. Excellent. Okay, cool. So you save your lists. Look, they give you hourly rates. Like you will find jobs here that are not listed anywhere else. That's one thing I noticed. Okay. It has the one-click apply. I don't want to do it. My profile. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Same shit, right? Same shit. It pretty much, your profile standing out. They give you a rating because all I did was import my LinkedIn. So as soon as your LinkedIn is solid, everything else will always be good. And then what was happening is, let's say applied. They drop off. So for example, you applied a thing, you can go view similar jobs. Super apply. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean. Position closed. So a lot of these get removed. I applied to way more of them. Like you see here, okay, so here's a good point. Front end developer, front end, full stack, front end. I just like full stack. I don't even know what Angular, full stack, lead front end web. I don't give a shit. Junior.net, full stack, Python, QA testing, .net, webmaster, front end, Spanish. Well, speak Spanish, so that Ruby on Rails, application developer. Like, you see how I'm just like web dev, general, junior, first junior job. See how many applied before? And this is on like the 5th page, by the way. So you see here, that was the first junior job I actually applied to. And software, this is actually my company. You apply to this job, blah, blah, blah. So like see, let's say, working lockstep with an Ottawa team, design features, like you see, and they're looking, what are they at? That you must have experience using the following: Sublime, RVM, Heroku, Bitbucket, jQuery, Postgres, AWS, Trello, blah, 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 blah. Experience with blah, blah, blah. You need to have experience with a bunch of stuff like Backbone, Ember, Angular. They didn't know what any of that shit was. I don't give a shit. Apply for it. I work there now. And then you see here, it gives you suggestions. Now, I was looking for something very specific, but unfortunately they may not have it because it's old now. It's been a while. It's been like over a year. So messages, no. So they have a message system. So what I'm trying to get at here is when you apply through ZipRecruiter, if they look at your resume, you get a ping back saying, hey, this manager has looked at your resume. And when they get a resume, because I've seen how this works now at my work, let's say they have resume, like, you know, like resume. So they can click, yep, this looks good, or this looks good. But when they look at it, it shows that somebody looked at it. And then they can say, yeah, I like it. If they click I like it, it sends you a message saying, hey, you've been shortlisted. So somebody has cherry-picked your resume. Then it works like that challenge game that these guys did for the final project. Then they compare the two. Then it goes, okay, here's your shortlist. Would you like to go over them again? And then they go, yes. And they go through their shortlist again and cherry pick more resumes. And it will say, hey, you've gone through a second round. This manager has come back to look at it again. And then after that, it allows you to chat with them directly. And you can talk to them and be like, hey, I noticed you looked at my resume. Do you have any questions? That kind of stuff. Another thing, I've never added a cover letter, ever. I don't give a shit about cover letters. I don't got time for cover letters. Take my shit or dip. You see anywhere here I have a cover letter? Hell's no. That's my choice. It's your call. Why do I not have a cover letter? Why do I need a cover letter? I showed you who I am. I talked about myself on my resume. I don't have like, I am a best developer who knows how to use these stacks, and my mission is to be the best in your company and add value. Obviously, you're going to need a freaking cover letter, because who the hell are you then? What else? Believe it or not. So let's get into client work here. I will share a slide. It's not my slide, but I'll share it later. It wasn't mine, but I'll share it anyway. But I can't do it here. So you guys have to ping me. And believe it or not, so for client work, there's something called Upwork. So if you guys want to do a bit of client work, this is all freelance. Just go like best freelance for hire. There's a lot of Upwork is a little bit like, you need to like apply, and then like they scrutinize you. So I'm not a big fan. I also, believe it or not, I go Kijiji and then I search developer. This is also a hidden gem, guys. Hidden gem. Put your shit on here. Look for jobs. Experienced app developer available. Affordable professional. And then you go into jobs. And I go, okay, front end, web developer intern required, ServiceNow desk, freelance required urgent, DevOps specialist required, iOS web developer needed, WordPress, part-time web designer, please. Like you see, there's other shit here. Don't like just do like status quo. Getting a job is not status quo. Standing above the crowd is what will make you get a job, essentially. I know it sounds crazy, but I guess I'm kind of crazy, so we'll leave it at that. But junior iOS, Node.js Mongo, November 30th, 2 days ago. Do you think the people on LinkedIn are going on here looking for a job? Probably not. So how good are the chances of you getting a direct connect to someone? Maybe good, maybe bad, I don't know. It's free to post on here. These people are using a free resource. Yeah, so I do a lot of this stuff. Sometimes I go on here, I look for random projects. Like I go in there and like scroll. Oh, that looks cool. Contact. Okay, I'll do a little quick thing for them if I'm bored. Cool? All right. That's going to be the end of that section. We'll go a little bit more because I want to touch how to stay motivated and like how I choose what to learn and that kind of stuff. Like how do I keep learning and how do I stay motivated? But is there any questions about this stuff right now? Any questions? Don't be shy. Good. Anybody else? No? All right, sweet. Any feedback? Like this is a discussion. Nobody says anything. I've been talking to myself the whole time.
You're not talking to yourself. You're at least talking to me and Suraj. I don't know about the rest of the people, but at least we're still here.
They're here. They're here. Vishnu's here. Brandon, Ruby, Zainab. Anyways, yes. Cool. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Cool. So let's kind of go. Okay, so since whatever, it's cool. You guys are a little bit shy, so we'll go with that. Like at this point, like how do I choose my courses? Like how do I stay motivated? So like there's a couple of things that I think should be really, really clear here. Like personally, I like a lot of Udemy stuff. But just 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that. Okay, cool. So honestly, guys, like when I look at Udemy, I'll go like it's okay. I've done about the same thing about 1,000 times. Okay? Which is okay. So like let's say I'll just go search full stack. Or just say JavaScript. You guys just finished a JavaScript program. Why not? So what I would suggest is, hey, this was Trilogy's spin on a full stack. Maybe you might want to maybe take someone else's spin on a full stack. Try someone else. Try another course. Even if you're doing the same shit like var equals blah, blah, blah. This equals blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'll go like this. I'll go boom. Okay, what's up? What's up? All right, let's see what the projects are. Setting up our tools, basic, blah, blah, blah. Advanced, I'll go advanced. Okay, what are you teaching me here? Boom, boom. 6 minutes. How much is my course content? It's 28 hours. So I know this one's a pretty big commitment. And then I'll go, okay, okay, what's the app project? Okay, here's the app. Okay, so a good portion of it is the app. This guy doesn't really show too much. He's good, by the way. A little bit slow, but really good. So I'll go look at the projects. Like, is this kind of cool? So I'll give you guys some people that are really, really good. So Jonas, really, really good. Highly recommend you do the course. He's like super thorough, but yeah, Westbot Scott Talinsky is okay, but I wouldn't do Westbot Scott Talinsky just now, to be honest with you. I would do something like, what the heck?
I'm just saying, like, don't make them be your holy trinity, but like listen to them or follow them, because they often talk about things like the Jamstack conference. Then you can go find more people. Like, they're kind of a starting place.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a good point. Like don't marry one person. Like, put yourself there. Put yourself open to like many people, right? And that's kind of like the point. That sounds kind of bad, actually, but the point of that is, like, everybody has a good idea, but all those ideas are different, right? Different approaches and stuff, right? So like, learn. One person I really personally like that I started doing a lot recently is this guy, Stephen Grinder. Stephen Grider. I call him the Grinder, but so you can write that down. Stephen Grider. Where I go into this, and it'll show me his courses taught. So for example, let's say you now, and he does it in Japanese too, which is crazy. So like machine learning with JavaScript. So you guys have the foundations of JavaScript. So now you can start touching some more advanced stuff, as long as you're being guided by the right people. Okay? Like, I would start doing like, hey, try doing some coding and algorithms. 13 hours, not a big commitment. Or like full stack Node.js, like you guys just did that. But I would do like React, start doing a lot of React stuff. So I would start going into more React stuff, polish your front end. Come on. Like, for example, modern React with Redux, 2019 update. And then go try an advanced React. Start trying some native apps. Like, you already have the foundations, right? One big thing I would highly, highly emphasize, ES6. I don't care who you do ES6 with, but start moving. Like, so basically, when I go through here, I just already scrutinize. He has really good projects, like very, very nice projects. Westboss has really nice projects. It's just the courses are kind of expensive. So I would say, like, don't invest in those until you've got some like good $14 courses under your belt.
There's a lot of free courses too.
Yeah, I honestly, paid courses are better. Give them their $14, man. They put the effort into it.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like every like month, you get some free courses, because I got like 2 Ruby courses.
Yeah,
for like
Ruby,
40 hours.
Exactly. Like
Then the 6 courses.
Exactly. Like, as you guys are looking for the job applications, if you see a bunch of jobs that are like Python or Ruby, just be like, yo, you know what? Let me just go just try, learn code Ruby, 31 hours, or complete Ruby on Rails developer course, like full stack Ruby, or like Python. Just try it. Just do Python and just look for something that's like boot camp. You guys just did a boot camp. Just go do another boot camp. 0 to Hero, 186 lectures, 24 hours. Think about how many hours you guys did. This is nothing, right? And then what this will do, the beauty of this, is you can do a 7-hour, but I recommend you doing like the more longer ones. They're slower, so you can absorb the information. I've done this one personally. I've done this one. Modern Java. Effective Java. I've done this one, the master class. 77 hours. So to go circle back to what Vishnu was saying, his question was, should you wait? No. Don't wait to apply. But do these courses in the meantime, because when they ask you at an interview, hey, they have a lot of these trick questions, which is, what are you up to right now? And you're like, well, you know, I'm really excited about Java, because Java is actually the backbone of most Android apps. And I wasn't really too sure about them. But what I did was I signed up for a Udemy course, and it's a boot camp just like the one I just finished for JavaScript, but it's for Java or Python or whatever.
So just a quick question, like to learn something new, it takes time. How do you like determine what to learn first, or like what order you want to learn stuff?
I would say to you that, okay, I'll tell you what my approach is. There's no right or wrong approach, but like there's so much out there that you just finish a boot camp, you have exposure to the system and how it works. Are these the, and yeah, 1 second, I'll answer your question, my friend. But the point here is that like, you just finish a boot camp, you understand the system, you know the concepts, like the teaching concepts and the flow. So stick with something that's familiar. So like me, I wouldn't go straight into like advanced something unless I want to learn more about React or learn more about a topic I already have a foundation on. You have a good foundation, so you can start going into more advanced stuff. I'll give you a free pointer. Most of the React stuff is ES6. Most of the new, almost like literally everything new JavaScript is ES6. So unless you know ES6 and you can get like, you can do an impromptu like test on ES6, then you probably should be learning ES6 JavaScript. So for you guys, honestly, your next step from the bootcamp in terms of learning with relation to JavaScript is pick up ES6, and then pick up, like this one's really good, Node with React full stack. But anyways, pick up ES6 and pick up some more React. Like do a beginner React again. So start from the bottom and work your way up again. You'll be like, oh, I already know this, but who cares? You're doing it again. You're learning it. Next time you do it, you already did it. You did it 3 times. You're gonna memorize it. That's what I did. I just did mundane shit over and over and over and over again until it became such second nature that next time I did it, I didn't bitch about it. I was just like, yeah, I went through those lessons like, bah. All of a sudden, 12 hours of the course, I was like, shit, I did 12 hours in like 3.
Would you recommend that we go back through our activities and make them dry and use the new things?
Yeah, I would say you could do that. That's an easy one. Yes, you already have JavaScript content. That's kind of why I was alluding to, hey, go do more like advanced stuff, like specifically ES6 and React courses if you're going to do JavaScript. But go back. You can go back through the activities. And what I would recommend is forget about trying to do something super new. Just do, like, for example, go back to the homeworks or the activities, read what they're asking you to do, and try to do it with more modern techniques, which is kind of what you're saying, dry it up or whatever. Just try to do it with your new skills rather than the building skills that they were trying to build up. You know what I'm saying? 1 second. Yeah, so let's leave it at that. And then, yeah, I'll touch base with you guys before Thursday. And let's try to put together kind of like a synopsis of everything. I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and I'm just going to stop the recording here. So I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and we're going to maybe write a little bucket list and maybe some kind of like, hey, now that I thought about all this stuff, why don't you guys kind of give me like some feedback or AMA or anything like that. And then on the Thursday, while we're mingling and talking and stuff, do not detract from talking to employers, but when you have the free time, let's take that offline and talk more about it, okay? Does that sound like a fair plan? And
yes.
And what was, let me answer Mateus's question. Hold on, Mateus, sorry, dude. I just know like 3 people that call Mateus and it messes me up so bad. I'm so bad for that. Okay, let's see, okay. Is there always new technologies okay, I know there's always new technologies popping up, especially in web dev. How do you keep up with the current upcoming trends and stay competitive? Well, Vishnu, so I mean, what's the best way to put this? If I see some new stuff, one of the first places I'll reach out to is probably Udemy. I'll take like a quick course, or like actually, technically, to be honest with you, I'll go to YouTube, subscribe to a bunch of people that are always putting out new content, get that free. If it looks like something cool that you'd like to try out, then maybe check on Udemy to see if there's a more structured learning path for it. But it should just be for funsies, okay? Because your day-to-day job, you're going to be doing something that's going to be totally different, basically, okay? So that's kind of how, don't worry about competitiveness, because once you have a job, who cares? Once you have that base knowledge, you can learn anything. So who cares? Don't really worry about that. Just follow things that you like to do. What else? Listening podcast, West Boston Polinsky. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Mateus asks, are these discount prices all marketing trying to get you to buy? They're sometimes not on sale. So sometimes they're like $50, but they do inflate their prices. This podcast is pretty good. Yeah, Syntax FM. Thanks, Haley. Syntax FM is really nice. Just be wary that there's a lot of jargon, and it's not really aimed at junior people. It's really aimed at like developers. Like even I listen to sometimes and I like have to re-listen to it or look it up, because like sometimes I just like, that's how I can tell you from personal experience. They have a lot of jargon, which would make more sense if I had more experience with it. So just be careful. Cool. Okay, last call for any questions here. You guys are good? Can I get a yes?
Yeah.
Yep, all good.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Last question. Can you get me a job?
Well, tell you what.
He just showed you how to.
Exactly. I tell you what though. Everybody who's here, go on each other's LinkedIn, write a little like, hey, this guy's a really cool person. Write a little something about it. Endorse each other. Get yourself up that bubbling up, including me. Tell people I'm a cool dude. I appreciate it. And then from there, use me as a reference. Use each other as a reference. Okay? Especially your group members in the team that you work together on your projects. It doesn't have to be project 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't matter. Reference people. Like just you do that kind of thing. And yeah. That's kind of where it's going. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Like I was telling Ali, like you guys, your success is a direct reflection of my ability to pass this information over to you. Like, and I want you guys to succeed. This is important. Like, I just wish a lot of the stuff was conveyed to me in the first place. I had to learn it the hard way, and that's just the way it goes, right? So, anyways, okay. Good night, guys. Peace.
See ya.
See ya. Thanks.
See you Thursday.
Yeah, see you Thursday, guys. Ciao.